For 2 days, bikers of all ages, from all around the globe, gathered for the 115-year birthday party Harley-Davidson tossed to celebrate its rich history. We started indoors, at the Oval, for Flat Out Friday that was part spectacle and all speed. This morning, we moved to the hill to test the bikers and their machines' limits. And now we've hit the beach, a nostalgic throwback to the way they raced a century ago. Somewhere, William Harley and Harley-Davidson are marveling at their own genius of attaching a motor to a simple bike. It's time to rev the engines and go wheels up at the Harley-Davidson 115. Welcome to beautiful Bradford Beach in Milwaukee. It's been an amazing 2 days of events out here for the Harley-Davidson 115th anniversary celebration. We started out last night with Flat Out Friday. This morning we had a hill climb, of course, and we end out today's action for the Bradford Beach Bowl. It's the Bradford Beach Brawl live from Bradford Beach here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, presented by the Race of Gentlemen. What's happening, everybody? Brandon Graham joined alongside X Games gold medalist Lance Corey, and the lovely Diana Dahlgren will be rounding out our broadcast team out there on the course. I hope y'all are ready for some racing because, Lance, we've got 6 different classes of motorcycle hitting the beach here today.
It's incredible. I mean, for the fact that this hasn't been here for 110 years and we're recreating history right now, I'm mind blown.
Yeah, well said. 1908 was the last time bikes hit the sand, so we are in for a treat here today. And taking a look at our menu of events, heavy, men's Hooligan, men's Moco, men's Vintage Sportsters, men's Brakeless 45, the mixed Trog 45, and I know your personal favorite, Lance, the mixed Hollywood 80.
You have that correct.
So we'll be seeing all of those classes hitting the beach here today. Just fantastic conditions. A little earlier today, if you were watching the hill climb, you saw what a muddy mess it was with the rain out there. Not a cloud out here that puts us in danger of any sort of precipitation. I think it's going to be ideal conditions. So before we get to the racing, as you see that beautiful commemorative flyover, we of course want to honor our country, and that's why before we kick things off, we started off with our national anthem, sung by Amy Eisenhut.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, at this point, we'd like you to rise and remove your hats for our country's national anthem, sung by Amy Eisenhut.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming.
We've been down here since Monday morning at 6 a.m. essentially, pushing sand around, rolling sand, wetting sand, trying to get the
gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land
Eisenhoot. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting ready for some elimination racing out here at the Bradford Beach Brawl right now. This is where we start eliminating guys. We're racing for grudge masters. We're drawing lines in the sand. That's how we do it out here. All right, we're running a bunch of classes out here. We've got a Trog 45 class. We've got the Loco class. We've got the Brakeless 45 class, the Hooligan class, Vintage Sportster class, and the Hollywood 80 class. That Trog 45 class, 45 cubic inch flatheads.
All right, well, we're excited to kick things off, but before we do that, let's check out a preview on the bikes we'll be seeing out here today. Let's send it down to Diana.
Same as the Trog 45.
Lance, Brandon, thank you guys so much. We are down on the sand. We are going to run through the 6 classes for tonight's events. First bike here on my left-hand side.
Yeah, we got Matt Harris here on a vintage Sportster. He's going to show these modern Sportsters how you push an old vintage Sportster around the track.
Awesome. And then we have this lovely lady here on my right.
One of HD's own, Leah Orloff, in the Moco class, showing everyone how an employee puts on a good race.
That's right. That's what I love about Harley-Davidson, employees-only class. Then we were moving into more the vintage realm.
Yeah, you got 2 great vintage bikes here. We got the Hollywood 80-inch class with the knuckle on my left and the Trog 45 class here on my right. Again, these guys are going to show you how fast these vintage bikes are, and being as old as they are, they still put out a ton of horsepower and push around the track.
Not only that, he's wearing the Harley-Davidson vintage collection sweater that I have, and I love it. And then we have the more modern bikes. Walk us through these 2.
Yeah, so we got the Trog 45 class, Brakeless, and we got the Sportster Hooligan class over here on my right.
That's right, we got the Hooligans. Well, this is such an amazing event, so important in so many ways. Tell us a few difference between the modern and the vintage.
Yeah, the thing I love about this event the most is that we're bringing together modern and vintage. It's not very often you see that happening, and it's really the vintage harkening back to our history and celebrating that, but now we have modern motorcycles, so we're going to see what those things can do out here on the track as well.
This race hasn't happened for a long time, in over a century. Guys, let's go racing.
Yeah, we can't wait. Enough talking about it. Let's be about it, Lance, as our first class is ready to kick off our action here today.
Man, you cannot beat this view that we have here on the beach, on the Bradford Beach. Incredible.
So starting things off, we have the men's hooligan class. There you see what it makes a hooligan. And these guys really are the spirit of the whole weekend of the Harley-Davidson 115th anniversary out here, Lance.
They really are. I mean, they're riding bikes. I wouldn't say they're 115 years old, but they got to be 80-plus years old. Great to see them still out there running.
Yeah, so there is a look at our start list, semi 1 of 2.
Ever had anybody get
and the fans have absolutely invaded Bradford Beach. This is such an amazing event, completely free, and everybody has come out here, and we've seen it. We saw it at Flat Out Friday last night, and we saw it earlier today out at the Hill Climb and Little Switzerland Ski Resort, and no better way to cap off today's action than out on the beach.
That is right, and we are so lucky and so happy to have this beautiful weather for the riders as well as us viewers.
Yeah, there you see a great look at the beach, and that's a beautiful shot of the boat. To give you a little sense of perspective, we're actually up in the boat. That is where we're doing this broadcast from. This is about as good as it gets for a broadcast booth.
That is correct. In fact, I didn't even realize it was a boat until you just pointed that out.
My goodness, where have you been, Lance?
I've just been enjoying the day.
You really have. We're having such a good time. It was a great day. We were at the Hill Climb earlier today. Actually got in a helicopter to get over here, once in a lifetime experience. And again, we can't thank you fans enough for watching online. This show is as much yours as it is ours. Tell us what you want to see, who you want us to talk to, what you want us to highlight, and where you're watching from, and we'll give you call-outs all broadcast long.
This is for you.
Lance is opening up Facebook right now. We're ready to rock.
I'm loving how all these guys are just in vintage gear, vintage helmets, vintage sweaters, like Diana had said.
It's an homage to yesteryear. And you see the flag girl getting ready. Semi 1 of 2 here in the hooligan class.
Number 39 by Kevin Bass out of Prior Lake, Minnesota. 33 bike, that's Hollywood out of New Jersey.
Look at him trying to start his bike back there. These old bikes, they don't have electric starts like the new ones. We'll see the Hooligans out there, they'll have electric starts. These guys are kicking and kicking. They're getting tired before the race even starts.
Out the 151 bike, at the line, the 51 bike, 996 bike.
He's having to time the engine, advance, retard, throttle. There's two different throttles on the bike. One on the left is advancing the bike. One on the right is getting the throttle going. A lot to think about, and the race hasn't even started yet.
For you fans watching at home, of all these amazing bikes these Hooligans are on, which is your personal favorite? Let us know from a number plate, man. Can't go wrong with any of these, but we're ready to get it on.
51D, Harley-Davidson.
We got the thumbs up. We got the flag waving.
Bikes are running.
And they're off. Hooligan Semi 1 officially kicks off.
At number 77 bike, Josh Cole. These are fans. Well, these are our racer gentlemen, guys. Showing you how this beach racing's done.
And they are off. Look at the lead that he's already got.
Yeah, 50 building.
Fresh track. It's like getting powder runs on a snowboard.
These guys have been paving it for the last hour, waiting for these classes to hit the sand.
It is not going to stay like that. Wait 1, 2 laps, and they are going to be fighting the sand. You hear that, ripping by?
And the 50 plate is just blazing around this beach oval, Lance.
It's incredible. Mind you, look at these bikes. No suspension.
Shout out to the fans watching, in particular, Wesley Wills watching from the maternity room, waiting on the baby to get here. Oh my goodness, Wesley, congratulations.
What better to be doing than having a kid and watching this race right now?
Well, I hope, Wesley, you're enjoying that shot.
And no surprise, here comes Josh Cone on that 77 bike.
And the number 50 is just, he's keeping it smooth. He's on the gas on the straights. Watch when it gets straightened out. Watch him open wide.
And we're already getting a lapping. 50 passing the 313.
Oh, getting a little swirly out there. Looks like we got Kevin Bass stuck out there in the sandberm.
I love when he just leans into it and you see the roost kind of pop off the tire.
And it is
right there. How awesome does that look?
And that's going to do it. The 50 bike takes the checkered flag.
Incredible.
Now, Lance, as we said, this race hasn't happened here in the vintage class. Oh, he picked a good time to lay it down. Well, we haven't seen these bikes on this beach in 110 years. You can't practice, especially with a vintage bike on beach. How foreign was it for these guys to hit the sand for the first time with these bikes?
Well, you know, they were dealing with the weather. But here's a replay. Check this out. Notice this. He slows down. Because he slows down, it's actually harder to get through the sand, and he crashes.
He didn't slow down that entire race.
No, it's easier to go faster on the sand than it is to slow down. When he slowed down, he let the bike go. And look at 3 of them. 1, 2, 3. They all slowed down. They all fell over, and they're all struggling getting their bike started. These are not new bikes. These bikes are older than probably most of the people watching this right now.
It was full throttle the entire race, and then half the field just loses it after that checkered flag. That was awesome.
Really was. Really was.
Give them a big round of applause.
And the thing is, they all went down going low speeds. They're all laughing. They might not be laughing if their bike doesn't start after a minute, but they're laughing.
Yeah, we see a lot of fans for that 50 plate. Tim Connor. Walter Gerson Rodriguez, 50, killed it. That he did. Again, if you're just joining us, it's the Harley-Davidson 115th anniversary celebration. It's just a weekend full of madness out here all over the greater Milwaukee area, and we finish up our event schedule out here tonight on the beach. There's a look at it. I had to drag Lance out of the water. He was out there body surfing. I said, hey, man, we got to get to the show.
That's right. No place I would rather be than the beach.
Yeah, it's perfect right now.
The beach and Harleys, I mean, that's just, you know, the best.
Much better conditions, and I'm curious any of those fans watching right now, if they were watching earlier today for the Harley Hill climb. A little bit different conditions than what we saw a few hours ago.
It's incredible that just a few hours and maybe 20, 30 miles, and all of a sudden it's like we're in a whole different world.
The fans have come out here in absolute droves, as you can see. Completely free event. There's no bad seat in the house. And it's all hands on deck to help get the bikes off the track as we await our next class. Jason Pasley, hi from Georgia. What's up, Jason? Ken Mendez was watching the hill climb. Love it. Glad you came back around.
So Dan's saying he's from the west coast of Michigan. Would that be connected to this?
I was told there would be no geography. So we move on here at the Bradford Beach Brawl. Again, the last time bikes hit the beach, 1908. Where were you 110 years ago?
I wasn't even a thought. My grandparents weren't even alive.
North Haven, Australia, Troy Taylor, stand up.
It's so awesome to see all the fans out here, and then these old Harley-Davidson vehicles, I want to say. I see kind of like a milk truck. I see a old bakery truck.
You know, I know we probably can't do it, or maybe it's frowned upon, but in addition to all of these incredible new bikes, like the 2019 stuff that Harley has on display, and of course the vintage bikes we're seeing out here today, as you said, the old vehicles and the old banners. I'm talking like the old Harley-Davidson race banners. That's like the ultimate memorabilia. I would love to just grab one after the broadcast when no one is looking.
I'm definitely going to have to ask the right people if I could grab one of those for the shop.
Great time from New York, Quebec, Canada, Bastien Briard.
So I want to know all these people on Facebook Live right now.
Yeah.
Are they rooting for a hooligan?
Ooh.
And what hooligan do they want to see out here?
Yeah.
You know, take the win.
Yeah. Well, we're getting really nostalgic about motorcycles, and why wouldn't you, being out here for Harley-Davidson's 115th anniversary. But some of the best bikes we've ever seen in the history of the universe have been celebrated on film. Your favorite motorcycle movie. Check this out.
My favorite motorcycle movie is, I don't have one. I love them all.
I guess I would have to say The Wild One with Marlon Brando.
Terminator, because I had a fat boy.
I like Wild Hogs. It's a lot of fun, and it kind of shows people it's the simple stuff in life.
My favorite motorcycle movie is Wild Hogs. My wife and I watch that at least 3 times a year.
Easy Rider.
Easy Rider.
Easy Rider.
Easy Rider. No question, hands down.
I have to duplicate my husband on that one. Easy Rider is the motorcycle movie.
Wow, I am so glad that Easy Rider edged out Wild Hogs. What is Lance Corey's favorite motorcycle film?
That's tough, man. I mean, I was born 1990, and I've watched Easy Rider. I do dig that movie. But something about watching Wild Hogs and then being able to, like, call somebody a wild hog, they're both great.
It's become the ultimate adjective, that's for sure.
All right, so we have vintage Sportster class lining up. Is that correct?
It looks that way. Let's take a closer look at some of these bikes. Any of our fans watching out here today have got a vintage Sportster of their own? And if so, give us the stats.
Actually, I'm getting word that this is Brakeless 45.
Oh, the Brakeless 45. Yes. There will be no slowing down in this race.
No. But you don't want to slow down. You want to stay on the gas. Then you stay above the sand, and you don't end up crashing.
Oh, speaking of motorcycle movies, there you see our Brakeless 45 contenders. I was actually going to bring this one up, that Amon Sharma Terminator.
Terminator.
Absolutely.
Yes. When he jumps like a fat boy softail off like the into the
yeah,
wash.
incredibly realistic. So here's a look at our rules for the men's Brakeless 45s. Pretty simple. Bikes out here on display. Anybody out there watching got a Brakeless of their own?
Number 311 once again is Warren Hire. Number 49, Kendall.
So we've just got word that the Brakeless 45 and the Sportsters are out there right now. We'll have to keep an eye on that.
I love the camaraderie of class. So let's see who this track favors out here today. And it's 311 with the early lead on the outside. But he's leaving the inside track wide open for 15 to make the pass.
Scott Johnson, number 15, pushing him wide and staying on the gas. Oh, I love it. That's one of the tactics of racing motorcycles is you can push people wide, and if you're a little bit above them or a little bit stronger, you can kind of run them where you want them to go.
Right, well 311 got that whole shot early, but he left the door open.
Yep.
And it's Scott Johnson in the 15th place, leading the way.
I mean, you can just hear how loud it is here. The bikes are ripping by. Uh-oh, someone's
he's getting
Scott
squirrely.
Johnson.
It's Warren here. Can he catch him?
Taking that berm high in that
Now,
second
Scott
turn.
Johnson and Warren are good buddies, so we'll see if they play nice with each other.
Oh, we've got a bike down. We'll see what number that was. Look at this shot. Are you kidding me? Can Warren cut to the inside?
Through the water, inside line.
Yeah, the people at the fence there.
We got bystanders diving into haystacks.
Oh, he got.
And it's 311 who got the lead. Scott Johnson opened the door and 311 pounds and he goes down.
Warren's down. Too much. Too much. What a race.
That was so heavy.
Scott Johnson held on. It's going to be his to win. Can he keep it?
The back and forth between Scott and Warren was so good in this race. And then Warren puts the bike down.
Oh, and it's one of those things, they're so hard to start. You can't just hop right back up and try to get back to where you were. Nice job, Scott.
Wow. That race had a little bit of everything. Lead changes, fans diving off of the track.
Yep.
The leader going down.
Well, you know, it's one thing, everyone can ride fast, but can you keep the bike on two wheels? If you can't, then riding fast is doing no good.
Utter and complete recklessness. Scott Johnson taking the win. Let's take another look at this. So this was amazing.
Whoa! Oh! Collision was going on.
Yeah, you have to wonder if that got into the vision of the rider as well. And as we take a look, yeah, and this is where Warren just goes uphill, and Scott Johnson says, sweep.
Just like I said earlier on in the race, as soon as it gets rutted up, it's going to be a lot harder for these guys to handle the bike. Lap one was like riding a powder run on a snowboard.
Oh my gosh, that was crazy. Fans at home, what do you think?
Oh, wow. They're actually going to tow this bike off the track, I think. Yep.
Oh, poor Warren. Guys, like I was leading this race. Now I need a quad to get me off the track.
It was mine to win.
Ruby Bender, fun to watch. You can say that again. Again, if you're just joining us, thank you so much. It's the Harley-Davidson 115th anniversary celebration, the Bradford Beach Brawl. Brandon Graham alongside Lance Corey and, of course, Diana Dahlgren down on the course. Diana's got better access than anybody, that's for sure.
That is true.
John Meyer, sign me up.
All right, folks, then we're gonna keep the excitement
Get on over, bud.
here. As soon as
I wouldn't mind being in one of those boats.
Yeah, you're kind of a yacht guy.
I would definitely be in that yacht.
Yeah, yeah. Kind of a prestige worldwide. Wide. So we're getting ready for our next class, and hopefully it lives up to the hype. What we've seen so far has been some great racing. Josh Jones, I think this should be every weekend event all across America. Josh, we're there too. Hey, for more on the course, let's head down to Diana. What's going on, Di?
Hey guys, you know what? I'm just on this massive water truck. We're gonna go do a little maintenance right now, and we're also gonna steamroll behind the water truck. We're gonna get this course nice and flat for the next set of races, guys. It's gonna be good.
Wow, so we're gonna have another race where a guy out front gets the perfect track.
And there you see her pageant wave, like she's marshaling the parade. So again, obviously, as we said, no one has raced on this track since 1908, but let's take a look at how we got here. It takes a village to get this thing going, but Lance, job well done by all of the contractors out here to make it possible for us to bring these bikes out today.
It's incredible. And these guys, they're people that ride or hang out with the riders a lot. You can't just come out here and make a track if you don't know what it's like to ride the bike.
Right. Yeah, you can't just merely push sand around and make an oval. There's absolutely a science to this.
Definitely.
And oh my goodness, Diana's got a t-shirt gun. Please cover small children. Protect your eyes.
Diana, can you come over to the boat that we're in and shoot one over to me, please?
Oh, there he goes with that Hudson engine.
So we're going through some course prep. Let's check in with some of our fans watching right now. Where are we watching from? Hello from Portugal. What's up, Angelo Lopez?
Gotta make sure we keep it safe for all of our riders out there.
Brazil, Felipe. There you see Diana opting for the one-handed shot. Takes utter control. How about this guy?
Driving his custom-made vehicle around. Think it's street legal?
And I think that nobody seems to be bothered by it at all.
There's a lot of wacky stuff going on for the 115th anniversary. Good times.
Brian Mose from New Zealand, Kevin Morris from Rhode Island. I want to know who's the furthest from Milwaukee.
I mean, Brian Mose.
Yeah, I'm not a map guy, but I feel like New Zealand and Australia would be in the lead there.
Didn't we talk about not getting into geography?
Yeah. Well, Diana has been very busy this week. She's got her hands full. She actually was out at the Harley-Davidson Museum a little earlier this week.
115 years ago, two friends, William and Arthur, came together to create Harley-Davidson. We are going to show you a little bit of the history, culture, and most importantly, the bikes here at the Harley-Davidson Museum. Behind us is the bike that started it all.
Yep.
Which is gorgeous.
The oldest Harley-Davidson in existence. Both Bill Harley and Arthur Davidson were really avid bicyclists, and Bill Harley actually worked for a bicycle company here in Milwaukee, and their first project was to build a motor to literally put in a bicycle. You can see how they kind of shaped the frame so that it would embrace the engine, and that kind of set the standard for what we still do now.
Can I write it out of here?
Well, first of all, you'd have to guess it out. This is actually dated July 20th, 1901.
This is original.
So this is the original drawing from Bill Harley
and where did you recover?
For a bicycle. This? The Harley family saved it. They had the foresight to save stuff from almost the very beginning. Over there is the book from 1907 when they incorporated, and they actually began a program of saving at least one bike new right off the line in 1915.
Wow.
And we do that to the present. When we were back there, you know, you look and this looks like a whole motorcycle.
Right.
And as you walk in.
Wow, I didn't even notice that till now. That's amazing.
See, it works.
This thing's completely taken apart.
So, you know, the idea here in this whole room is to give people, you know, a sense that the engine from the first bike we built today is the, you know, real heart of the motorcycle, both, you know, obviously from making it go, but from a design point of view, we always show that beautiful engine like it's a jewel in a setting. We want to give people a sense of, you know, how these things work, and we make it interesting. By 1920, we were the largest motorcycle company in the world and sold over 28,000. In those early decades, there were dozens, we think as many as 60 different American motorcycle companies. By the time we came out of the Depression, there were only 2 companies left. You know, the major turning point was World War II. Over the course of World War II, we made almost 90,000 military bikes.
What kind of jobs in the military were Harleys actually assigned to?
They were mostly, they called them dispatch riders.
Okay.
So they were taking messages from one place to another. Our story weaves in and out of the story of American history. This is the bike that this badass cyborg
Arnold
has to ride.
Schwarzenegger.
The real Captain America in the comic book, he rides a WLA.
Right.
The original didn't come with flamethrowers and stuff like rocket launchers. Like the Terminator, one thing that's great is it's kind of, you know, it's not just like a car, it's a character.
So Jim, we've walked around, there's a lot of stuff in this museum.
Yeah, when you think about motorcycling, it's not just the bike, it's the black leather jacket, all the uniforms, and then all the things that people do to add to their bike. So we've got, you know, just an incredible array of things to help tell the story.
What do you hope each person that sets foot through this door gets?
If you come into this place and you're a Harley-Davidson enthusiast, we're gonna stoke that passion further. If you got dragged along by somebody and you don't think you're gonna like it, you're gonna leave thinking, you know, that was actually interesting and I've never really thought much about motorcycling, but that's an interesting subject.
There's something for everyone here at the Harley-Davidson Museum, that's for sure.
That's the goal.
Wow, just a tremendous story. And it's worth the price of the trip to come to Milwaukee. If you have no other plans, go to the Harley-Davidson Museum in downtown Milwaukee. You will not be disappointed.
I've been there more than a handful of times, and even watching that video, I get just stoked up.
Yeah, you get chills, and Jim's absolutely right. Whether you're a wild hog, just getting onto a motorcycle the first time, not even interested, there's something for everybody there, and you walk away, I think, wanting to get a bike, that's for sure.
You don't even need to be a motorcycle rider, like you were saying. To see the American history and the fact that somebody was doing that so long ago.
The longevity of the brand. I mean, we talk about it being the 115th anniversary, but he put things in perspective really well, that after the Great Depression, there were only 2 motorcycle brands left in the world.
Yep.
And Harley was one of them.
It's so awesome. It's so awesome that it's still here, still living the dream, and every enthusiast is keeping it running.
Well, we thank you for joining us here for the Harley-Davidson 115th anniversary celebration. It's the Bradford Beach Brawl, and we've just got some course prep going on out here at the beach on Lake Michigan. And it's been a gorgeous day thus far. We're a few races in. It's been a lot of fun. They started setting this thing in order earlier in the week, Monday, I believe, and the digging began on Tuesday, and here we are Saturday, and this ends our amazing event schedule. All hands on deck, as we said, everyone playing a role out here. And at its core, it's really for the fans, and everybody gets to come out here, a completely free event. And there have been people who have been here all day long, mind you. There's been other contests going on. We were calling the events over at the Harley Hill Climb in Little Switzerland Ski Resort, which is about 30 minutes away. And there were people here long before the bikes got here on the beach today.
That's very true. And they have the museum party going off.
That's right.
There's bands over there, live music, you know, new Harley-Davidson Ford trucks. There's so much to see, all the new bikes.
There's a look at what our last couple of days has looked like. Of course, we had the Flat Out Friday last night, which is always super fun. That was in downtown Milwaukee proper. And then we went down up north, I should say, to the hill climb earlier this morning. And we had to get from that hill climb dot out here to the beach and our bosses were afraid that just grabbing an Uber wouldn't get us here in time. So we got to the chopper.
Yep.
We got a helicopter ride, Lance, Diana, and I, and some of our production staff to get over here. So that was amazing, and we're having a great time. And we hope you fans watching at home are staying with us. We still got plenty of racing to go. Hey, before we cut to that feature at the museum, I asked who was watching from furthest away, and I want to pay that off. Martin McKinney said that he was watching from the southern point of Victoria, Australia. So if you know anything about Down Under, that may be the furthest point from Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
That's a good chance.
Mary Thompson, you're watching from Minnesota. That is not the furthest point from Wisconsin. But we love that you're watching. Yep. El Paso, Texas, Terry Reed. So let us know who you want to see, what classes you're most looking forward to. If you've owned one of these bikes or any of these types of bikes, would you bring it out to the sand? Because I think a lot of these guys say, oh yeah, I'd ride the hill climb, or heck yeah, I'd go into the arena and do the oval on the concrete. How many of you guys and gals with bikes would take it out here to the beach? Well, let's head back down to Diana, who's fresh off her free ride. I guess you hitched a ride to get onto that water truck. How you feeling now back on land?
I'm back on land, and it was great. The track maintenance is so crucial when it comes to this beach racing. And you know, to think about it, over 100 years ago, we didn't have machinery like this. So it just makes you wonder what track conditions were like back then. But for now, the course is smooth, it's going great. And I will tell you, these are the greatest fans in America right now, near and far in Milwaukee for the 115th anniversary Bradford Beach. This is the spot to be, guys.
Yeah, there's no doubt. She's got the best seat in the house, and we're getting ready for our next class that will be hitting the beach, the Hollywood 80, Lance.
All right, folks, listen, it takes a village to look around, look at your feet, see if you find a wallet. We got a young lady missing a wallet.
So there you see fans in attendance. We've got fans in the infield. We've got fans out here. There's some stadium seating just east of the sand. And lines of traffic. I feel like cars are even stopping near the beach just to roll down the window to get a view of this thing. Heaps of fellas watching from Western Australia. All right, Leon.
I have to think, Brando, I have a couple Harley-Davidsons of my own. 2018 Lowrider.
Okay.
I have a 2013 Street Bob.
Okay.
1992 FXR.
Okay.
And a 1957 Panhead.
That's more than a couple.
And a couple more little ones. I got a little Harley Shortster. But I was just talking about the big bikes. I have to say that if I were to go out there...
Which of the stable would you bring out here to the sand?
I would bring the 2018 Lowrider.
Okay.
FXR, well, first of all, let's start with the oldest. Panhead is amazing. Hardest one to ride. It's got suicide shift, rigid frame. It would be a little tough. It's a little raked out, not the right bike to be riding in the sand. Then my FXR, I would probably kind of choose that one, but if I crashed it, they don't make any of those parts really anymore. So I kind of want to keep that one nice.
Right.
Then I have my Street Bob, great bike, love it, but it's kind of lifted, it's set up a little bit more aggressive. My 2018 still has the stock suspension on it because it's great. It's the lightest of those bikes. It's going to handle the best, so I would put my money on bringing my 2018 Lowrider out here. Yep.
Well, maybe for the HD 120th anniversary celebration, we can get Lance Corey not only in the booth, but out on the sand.
Yep.
And by the time that rolls around, that 2018, that'll be a forgotten memory, that bike for you.
Yep. I'm curious, anyone watching this, any of you guys have one of those bikes that I mentioned? Do you have a 2013 Street Bob? Do you have a 2018 Lowrider or an FXR or a Panhead? Just want to know, what you guys are riding.
Yeah, what do you got? Not only what do you got, what do you have in the stable, but are you willing to bring it out here to the beach? That's a commitment.
Kevin L. Morris says he's got the new Softail lowrider, so.
Would you bring it out, Kevin? That's the question.
Would you bring it? How's it set up? Could it handle the sand?
But this is the thing. You don't know until you get out here.
You don't.
It's too conceptual, I think, for a lot of these classes when, hey, Harley-Davidson says, hey, we're hitting the beach for this race. Oh, amazing. Which bike am I going to use? Is my bike even going to hold up?
Yep. Jeremy Pike has a 2001 Dyna T-Sport. They don't make those anymore.
Yeah, see, now that's what you gotta, that's the risk involved.
There's probably a lot of nice parts on that. It would be a rad bike to ride to Milwaukee on, and I don't know where you're from, Jeremy, but would you ride here and then take off your bags and get on the track and rip a couple laps with Rusty Butcher?
If you're the proud owner of the Channel 12 news van, my guess is going to be you probably work for Channel 12. You got to move that van. It's in the way of our water.
Stefan says, I got a 2013 Street Bob. I don't think I'd take it in the sand.
There it is. All right, well, while we wait for this next class to hit the sand, let's head back down to the beach with Diana.
This is a rider that you've seen in many classes here this weekend. JJ Flaherty, so many titles under your belt. You're such a great sport and ambassador for the sport of Harley-Davidson and everything that it involves. Talk about the 115th anniversary.
Oh, man. This is huge. And I love that they brought the racing stuff back here to Milwaukee because it's everything. I think racing should be top priority. In my opinion of things. But yeah, growing up, being just, local to Milwaukee and like going to the 90th, like I think the first one I remember is the 90th, 95th, the 100th, and I started doing BMX shows at the 110th, and now I'm here racing at the 115th, so.
Let's talk about that. You were at the hill this morning. Oh my goodness, the conditions there were treacherous. Now you're on this nicely manicured sand track.
Luckily I got a little bit of a motocross background too, so I think that's helped me in these turns, especially 1 and 2. It's pretty greasy, it gets rutted up.
Now we have tons of thousands of people watching live right now, and you're sitting here about to go on this course and race. Explain the feeling that you have right now about to go onto this course and lay down some sand. I was going to say lay down some tar, but that doesn't apply here.
Well, I hope I'm not laying in the sand in front of all those people. I already did that once today. But it's a pretty awesome feeling for sure.
Any adrenaline?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Tons of adrenaline. Well, we've heard it from JJ Flaherty. Big round of applause for this guy. Such a great sport. And let's see if we can take first here in tonight's Hooligan class. See you, JJ. Thanks. Guys, back to you.
JJ Flaherty has had himself a day in the all-white leathers. He was competing in the hill climb earlier today, and it was a muddy mess. Of those fans who are watching, you know what we were talking about. No one went unscathed, but JJ Flaherty made it all the way to the championship round in his class, ended up having to settle for second place, but man, he looked so good at the hill climb this morning.
I got lucky enough to see a photo that was taken from about eye level of the track. He legit looks like Evel Knievel
flying.
Launching.
Yeah.
He had to have been 10 feet off the ground.
Yeah, and what's crazy is while we were doing the broadcast live, we knew he got some air, and I think we both went, whoa, and then we saw that photo in perspective, and that is so cool. I hope that JJ is able to get his hands on that because that's frame-worthy.
Definitely.
It's definitely Instagram-worthy.
Yep. So I think we got the Hollywood 80 class coming out right now. If I remember correctly, they said it was like knuckleheads.
All right, we got the final
I'm a knucklehead.
Hollywood class coming out to the line right now. Hollywood class.
And you know what I love about all of these classes, whether it's vintage or Hollywood 80, is not only obviously the bikes, but even the plates paying homage to another era.
Twins out there.
Notice these bikes have little tank shifters on them. Like I said, you got that double throttle going.
That's Frank Rick.
These bikes are a lot harder to handle. As the times changed, they made the bikes easier to ride. You know, they put a front brake on them. They put a clutch on them at the hand. They let you shift with your foot. Some of those things made the newer bikes easier to ride than these older bikes that have, like I said, the advance and retard and the left throttle, the actual throttle on the right. and then the clutch as your foot, and the hand shifter. So you have to take your hand off the bar every time you want to shift, as well as you have to take your foot off the ground. So if you're at a stoplight, you only get one foot on the ground. There was way more to think about. You have to think way far in advance while doing it.
That's wild. And yeah, for you fans watching at home going, was this just a man head-to-head race? No, no, no. Bike's slowly coming back out here. We'll have a full field.
So again, I think I see a buddy of mine, Scott Jones, number 50 out there. It looks like him, but maybe it's not.
No, the 50 plate, that's B. Cannon.
Oh boy, well Scott, you look like Cannon.
You're putting your friend on blast right now.
I bet you it's him on somebody else's bike. No, he's actually got hand tattoos, I think. I'm totally wrong.
Daryl Jewell, back in 73 and 74, we drag race on the beach at night, had a 73 Sportster. All right, Daryl.
So awesome.
Out of Brawl, Lake, Minnesota.
I'd love to get my hands on that Springer for my Panda.
Mike Melanie Lazelle interviewed the flag girl. Yeah, she's kind of stealing the show out here today.
Yeah. Notice how she kind of like waves it, and they don't go until she does a big jump, and I believe hits the ground.
Yeah, see,
waving,
wave.
Making sure they're all ready.
Wave,
jump,
wave, and the jump. Yep. And they're off. And it looks like the 50 plate building that huge lead.
He is not messing around. And again, look at fresh tracks. They're making the ruts. They're not taking ruts, they're making the ruts. On the gas, waves coming in.
Taking no prisoners out there right now.
And it's more of the same from Cannon out here today.
So awesome. Look at him. He's getting the weight on the rear end, which is basically getting the front tire off of the ground. It doesn't look like it, but the weight is completely off of the front tire, which is making the bike get through that sand way easier than you would imagine. It's still hard, but a lot easier than if you didn't.
Well, no, I see what you're saying. Brian Cannon making it look like a Saturday stroll. Look at the lead he's built.
He is definitely out front. He's got almost a 4-second lead. You can hear these bikes through our microphones just ripping.
So this is the Hollywood 80 main, and it's Cannon's race to lose. He can ride as far outside as he wants at this point.
Look at him looking back like, can I chill out right now?
One lap to go.
And ladies and gentlemen, it is, as we suspected, Brian.
And it's Brian Cannon with the win.
In second place, Kevin Bass from Fire Lake, Minnesota.
I see 2 Basses out there.
Well, Seabass and the guys offered to pick up our tab.
Don't go there.
Okay. Not yet, I guess. So Brian Cannon leaves no doubt about it. Just riding like his head is on fire all day out here on this course. And this time, though, Lance, he finishes the race and stays on the bike.
And he really put it down there. It's always nice to come out for that vengeance.
Looks like number 88, Frank Rick, laid it down that last turn.
It's always nice when you can go twice in one day, right? When you have more than one race. I think the first race you kind of just get the EBGBs out, you know? You're ready to go, and then you finally are like, all right, I'm ready.
And if you're just joining us, this is a weekend full of races. A lot of these guys that we're seeing out here tonight at the beach, we saw earlier today at the hill climb, and a lot of those same guys we saw last night at Flat Out Friday.
Yep.
A lot of motorcycle racing for a lot of these guys. It also involves some bike switching.
Now we gotta help you, huh, buddy?
Look at all the smiles coming off the track, all their friends, mechanics, maybe bike owners that are letting their friends ride their bikes.
Well, JJ Flaherty, who Diana Dahlgren was interviewing earlier, actually lost to a rider whose bike malfunctioned right before the start of the race and had to borrow a friend's bike literally 30 seconds before the start.
Maybe that was his trick tactic.
So here's another look at Cannon, and he was riding outside for most of the race. As we take another look when he gets inside, Lance.
Oh. Well, you notice that once the race gets going and there start to form ruts, he's kind of dodging them. And you saw him kind of fall into a rut in the first corner, and then he kind of came out. Then as he's going into the next corner, he's trying to take a line that nobody's taking yet. So it's a lot of thinking ahead, patience, while staying on the gas, you know?
So now it's time for Heat 2, I believe. Heat 2 of the Hollywood 80 main.
To me, this is looking like the Hooligans.
Oh, this is Hooligans. Yeah, we've already switched. I apologize. My scoring monitor is not keeping up with the torrid pace of the racing out here today. And there we take a look at our start list. Semi 1 of 2 for the Hooligans. Lance, you know a lot of these guys pretty well.
I do know a lot of the guys. A lot of these names right now that I'm seeing aren't as much California kids, so I'm not sure if I know this class that well. I myself from LA know a lot of the guys from the Hooligan series that are from Southern California.
Do you say you're an LA guy, or do you say you're a Valley guy?
I would say LA. When I'm out of LA, I say LA. And they're off!
So it looks like 34 has the lead, but he's keeping the inside open. Can 33 make the pass, Bear? And he does.
Look at these bikes. You can see they're newer, faster. I mean, these guys are throwing roost. But also note how much they're kind of squiggling through the lines right now. There are that many more ruts. They are having to dodge the ruts or drop into them.
So now it's Hansen, 33. Can he hold on? Right behind him, 77, Mishler. He's building quite a lead here with 2 laps to go.
Notice how when they're going down the straight, they lean back, and when they go into the corner, they actually kind of lean forward up on the front of the gas tank. It's kind of because they need the front end a little bit to steer. That's the stance. See how he's on the front? He's not on the back of his seat.
It's final lap. Can Hansen hold on?
Now he's on the back of his seat.
Ah, yeah.
You see that transition? He's pulling tear-offs out there, which means he's getting roosted. Or throwing dirt up off his front tire. He probably doesn't have a front fender.
And here comes the checkered. It's Hansen taking this semi.
I see a question right here from Walter Rodriguez. Is there a Hooligan group of riders around New York City? There's a group of guys that have ridden the Hooligan class. They're called the East Coastin' Crew. They're out of Connecticut, New Haven, Connecticut. I want to say that's what, maybe 45 minutes from New York City. They have ridden Hooligan classes, and they kind of do stuff like this. I don't think they're here this weekend, but there are people on the East Coast doing this.
See Mike Melanie Lazelle, 33 must-ride dirt bikes. So let's take another look here down the stretch before that first turn. And early on, it was the 34 bike, but he went outside, and 33 was able to pounce, and there was no looking back after that first lap.
Like I said before, those ruts are kind of messing with these guys now. They're having to hold on to a wild animal almost. A little bit different than riding your Sportster on the paved ground.
I will say. So we've still got another semi-final in this Hooligan class.
I think I see a couple of the crowd favorites heading out to the track right now.
So who will join Hansen and the boys who qualified out of that first semi?
Number 35, Dave Kilkenny from Waukesha, Wisconsin, comes to the line.
It's great too, Lance, because there is such a huge contingency of Midwest riders, particularly Wisconsin riders. We've seen it across all platforms out here the last 2 days.
Yeah.
And there's our guy, JJ Flaherty.
Going from flat tracking in a little arena on concrete.
Yep.
Launching his Harley like Evel Knievel up a mountain. And now he's here on the beach, riding in the sand. And I believe through every single race, the promoters have made them wash their bikes so they don't transfer the sand to
Makes
the concrete,
sense.
the dirt to the sand, vice versa. I think it's kind of a rule by the city, as well as keep the tracks clean.
Here's the real star of the night, Flat Girl, and they're off. Oh, and Flaherty gets into a little bit of a scuffle. Oh, we've got ourselves a battle, Lance, right at the top.
Oh, yeah. Flaherty staying on the inside, though.
Yeah, he's playing this thing right. 142 still leading, but he's on the outside. And now it looks like he's finding his groove, Lance. Diana, what are you seeing down there on the course in this race?
You know, I've talked to a lot of riders, and some of them were talking about taking that outside line, relying on that outer bank,
but JJ Flaherty early on in this race was taking that inside line, saved him some time. Might be an all-out battle. A lot of these guys, are they used to the weight? Lance, you could probably attest to this. What kind of weight are they facing when they go into that turn on the inner line?
Well, I mean, they're already riding bikes that are...
Oh, no! Flaherty goes down!
Our man we were keeping an eye on is down. His friends are running to him. I'd love to see a replay of that so we could see what happened.
Oh, we need to see that one more time. He was behind Holbis less than a second, and he goes down with 1 lap to go. JJ Flaherty and Danny Holbis have ridden together for a long time. They're good friends. Unofficial results right now have Holbis winning that semi, or at least taking the lead. Hopefully it looks like Flaherty's okay, but yeah, we need to see another look at that.
That's for sure. And again, this kind of goes on what you asked, Diana. That bike's 500-600 pounds, and he just tangled with it. Let's check this out.
Yeah, here we go. Let's see what went wrong for JJ Flaherty.
He was trying to pull a tear off.
Oh, yeah.
The ruts. The ruts.
Yeah, Diana, is that what you saw down there with JJ?
Saw the tangle up, but also what I saw, guys, was the camaraderie. I don't know if you saw Atkins, better known as the Rusty Butcher, come right up to him, check on him, see how he's doing. There he is again with another hooligan. That's the love and camaraderie we have here in Harley-Davidson and flat track racing.
Yeah, well said, Diana, especially in this hooligan class. So many of these guys are friends. What started out as just friends riding together, gaining notoriety, and it's evolved into something so much bigger than that, and they're all out here today.
Really what happened out there was, he was trying to grab his tear off because he was coming from the back. He probably had dirt all over his goggles. He was a little too focused on that, and you saw he was kind of in a shady area, which I want to touch in a little bit. He didn't see those ruts that we've been talking about since we started this. He cross-rutted. Front tire was in a different rut than the back rut. And that basically crossed him up, threw him right off the bike.
That's a really good point as we take another look.
Going at the goggles, not paying attention.
Yeah.
Cross ruts.
Just takes one hand off and completely loses control. And that's such a bummer because he was right behind Holbis and he ends up with a DNF, and then the riders behind him settling for that DNF. And it's Holbis that takes the win there.
Notice the fans in the infield, so stoked just to kind of handshake and all smiles on their faces. Happy he's up, walking around.
But you bring up a great point about the shadows. When these guys got out here, the sun was shining throughout the entire course. Now as we're getting a little later into the day and it's 6:05 p.m. here local time, The sun's slowly starting to come down, and really, dare we say, half this track is now in shadow.
It's tough. It really makes it hard in the shadows, and it makes it hard. You don't know what goggles to wear or lens to wear. You want to wear something for the sun, then all of a sudden you're in the shade and you can barely see. Or if you wear something for the shade, you pop out into the sun and you're blinded. So it's a tough one for sure. Not saying it's impossible. Obviously they're out there doing it and kicking butt, but it puts some confusion.
So we're shaking it up a little bit out here for this one, as you can see. One of these things is not like the other. Again, fans watching from home, where are y'all watching? Who you got in this one, 4 wheels or 2? I'll tell you what, it's also a battle of gears.
Look at how much he is steering that thing, just on a left, right, just to keep it going straight.
It's already turning around with the look back.
So you can imagine with how much he's having to correct those steering wheels, how much a motorcycle's having to do it.
John Holt watching from Tucson. What's happening? Paul Garbett from the UK. Oh, and the bike makes the pass on the car.
He's getting a good lead. He's got about 2-3 car lengths, but that car is hauling butt into the corner.
You gotta get yourself a Harley-Davidson motorcycle, son.
Can this car somehow make its way to the inside for a pass? 151, not giving him an inch.
The man in the car's got a cup holder, a drink. He's just hanging out. Look at that, thumbs up, good times, positive vibes.
That's all it's been here all weekend long. Good vibes across every race. Christopher Pinnicky watching from Des Moines, Iowa. Randy Serta, California. Australia announced Louisville, Kentucky. What's up, Trevor?
What would you ride, the bike or the car, Brando?
I'd go 2 wheels.
2 wheels. How about the viewers? You want to drive that car or ride that bike?
I want to drive the car, but something about getting a motorcycle on the beach feels like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Oh, now the speed's picking up a little bit here. What happens on this turn?
That's what we do, ladies and gentlemen. We throw a bunch of
one thing to note.
out of the sand, we see who comes out on top.
Well, as we continue on with this race, it's Baywatch out here on the beach. Let's go to our own lifeguard, Diana Dahlgren.
Oh, that was clever. Okay, so yes, I'm the personal lifeguard here for the Bradford Beach 115th Harley-Davidson anniversary beach brawl, I guess. But anyways, they are about to start track maintenance. Now, I'm up here to show you guys the feel. We are literally feet away from the beach. I mean, the water is rushing up right here as the cats go on to do their track maintenance. Pretty amazing. We want to know where you guys are watching from. If you're on Facebook Live, leave a comment. Let us know where you're watching from. Maybe you're on a beach. Maybe you're in the desert. I don't know. We'll find out.
All we need is Hasselhoff and some slow motion running, and we can make this thing happen.
Oh, yes.
So Diana, she's all over. Let us know, fans at home, where you're watching. And if there's a particular rider or something that you want to see, let us know, and Diana will hunt it down. So much going on out here in Milwaukee. There's a beautiful look at the Bradford Beach Brawl. For more on the beach and these bikes, check it out.
Make it a little safer for our guys out there.
We've been down here since Monday morning at 6 a.m. essentially, pushing sand around, rolling sand, wetting sand, trying to get the track as tightly packed as we can.
Sand is unpredictable.
If you're used to riding on cement or a packed track, it's get a little loose out there.
Generally, beach races are done on tide-packed coastal beaches, and quickly realized it was 5 feet of sugar-based sand, which is anything but ideal.
It's got the consistency of flour, so if you ever thought about trying to run through a big deal of flour, how hard that would be, well, that's about what it is to control a bike through that.
it changes constantly. The spot you were just in last lap, you go around, it's going to be completely different the next lap.
You can't be scared of it. You got to just like hold the throttle back and rip through it. And you know, you see a big sand pile, you're not going to slow down and go over it. You got to just fly through it.
It wears you out really quick, and I've never rode on anything like it in my life. Very cool. It's going to be guys that stall out, and there's going to be guys that fall over. It's a lot of fun. It's, you know, a lot of oohs and ahs.
Hopefully only thrills and no spills.
The one thing I love about this race and this whole idea is it's a mix of modern and vintage.
This is 1989 XL 1200 Sportster, and it hooks up and hauls ass.
This is a 1929 Harley DL. This is the Godfather.
A lot of times you have the two separated, and we're bringing them both together. The vintage to really celebrate our history and harken back to our roots, and the modern to show what our modern motorcycles are capable of out on the beach.
Being able to come down here and ride Bradford Beach is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. It's a fun place. I think everybody will get real close and get to see, probably get some sand in their hair maybe, and have some fun.
We're here in Milwaukee celebrating Harley-Davidson's 115th anniversary and our history. These guys have an opportunity to create history.
Everybody sticks together. If you need a tool, if you need a helping hand, if you tip your bike over, they'll be there to help you pick it up.
Well said. Really neat to see the variety of bike, the variety of rider out here today. Again, we love hearing from you fans. William Hugelmeyer, let's get a closer look at the running gear these guys are using. Hopefully Diana can hear that. Maybe she and her personal camera she brought out here can give us a little bit of a closer look at what's going on down at the starting line.
Make sure we keep our guys safe. Make sure we keep you safe.
People are watching from all over. Wichita, Kansas, New York City. Thunder.
You can't hear me?
Hey, there we are, Diana.
Hey, guys, yeah.
Oh,
we're losing you.
We're losing you, Diana.
I don't know what cell service she has, but she's not coming through.
So if you got a kid who's a skateboarder, get him up to the rail, we'll be passing out some.
I love that one bike. I can't recall the model he said it was. He called it the Godfather from 1929, Lance.
I know. I was thinking to myself, wow, in like 10 years, that bike's going to be 100 years old. And he's out here riding it in sand. That thing would be up on my mantle at my house.
Brad Talbot watching just across the lake in Michigan. Brad, wave to us so we know that you're watching. Kenneth Kramer, Kansas City. Mick McNasty, I hope that's your given name, Glasgow, Scotland. Just a wonderful day for racing, and I can't think of a better way to sort of cap off the weekend festivities of the racing than being out here on the beach. You see the sand maintenance going down right now. One interesting note that we heard in that feature was one of the riders talking about the consistency of the sand, and what he likened it to was flour.
I heard that, and I was like, that's pretty good. But you know what? I've ridden on beach sand a ton in my life with sand tires,
right,
stuff like that. But I've never ridden on lake sand. And he made a point that it is different.
A different type of consistency.
Maybe Diana's down there right now. Can you tell a difference between that sand and you know, sand you'd see at the beach?
I guess this is like sand you would see at the beach. But I found her. And what is your? Very nice to meet you, Zaria. So we are out here. We're hanging on the infield of the Bradford Beach Brawl. How's it going out here so far? Well, that's amazing. Well, guys, we are going to be the Bradford Beach Brawl. Guys, we're going to let you take.
Oh, Diana, I'm so sorry that interview, we were having sound issues, but honestly, the real MVP was the guy eating a hot dog right behind you in shot. That was incredible.
Don't worry, Diana. We all got photos up here in the booth.
Diana, we didn't hear you, but that was still the most entertaining interview we've seen all day.
Let's see what the people
Oh, my
on
God.
Facebook
Please
think about
get that on Instagram. And tell me fans at home watching on Facebook just saw the hot dog guy.
Gotta love that hot dog. Jeff.
Lance, read me some of the quotes, please.
The guy behind her cramming his face.
Look at the mate feeding his face. Oh, that was too good.
Holy cow.
We can all go home. Oh, no, we still got more racing to go.
Holy cow.
So there you see course maintenance. Oh, we'll never be the same. Tell me you got a photo of that for us to post, please.
I got a photo of that, and I'm putting it up right now.
Again, if you are in the greater Milwaukee area, if you are in Wisconsin, if you are Lake Michigan adjacent and you're not here, you're blowing it. Figure out how to get out here. We've still got more races to go. There's music going on. So we talk a lot about all of these riders being stoked on one another and the friendship, but let's just take a closer look at the camaraderie amongst these group of riders.
The way I see it, everyone's got work on Monday. When we go and do these events, it's a great amount of respect for everyone around.
We're always helping other people out, like somebody needs some gas or if somebody has a flat tire, we'll help out with that.
I lost my rod on my rocker clutch, so I figured my racing was over for the weekend. A guy had one in his car, we cut it, we tapped it, I'm ready to run. This is family.
Everybody sticks together. If you need a tool, if you need a helping hand, if you tip your bike over, they'll be there to help you pick it up.
Like my buddy Nick helped me build the motor, and I wouldn't have been able to build the motor, nor would I have been able to afford a real bike builder to build the motor. So to have friends that like figure it out and we all figure it out together and help each other out to do it, it's great.
It's tough enough to get through this world, and everybody needs a helping hand. We've all kind of been down on our luck sometimes and needed somebody there to lift us up.
Lost the phone, and the family got together, the Trog family, and then we found the phone.
Found the phone in the track.
Absolutely.
If a guy could help you win and he's racing against you, he'll do that. I mean, I'd help any of my competitors beat me.
Such an amazing time here on the infield of the Bradford Beach Brawl. Geez, that's a tongue twister. But anyway, standing here with a lovely lady I just met. Let us know what your name is.
I'm Barbara Rayborn.
Barbara, where did you ride in from?
We came in from Springfield, Louisiana.
And how long was that ride?
Well, considering the fact that we went from Springfield to North Carolina, Tennessee, and then here, it was a few days.
Wow, who else here came all the way up to Milwaukee for the 115th anniversary? Who else rode here a couple days? Can we hear you scream? I hear some screamer. There we go. I hear some people scream. There we go. Okay, so it was a safe journey. Thank goodness. What'd you guys ride in on?
Well, we actually own a Harley Ultra Classic. Her name is Sister Jade. She's green, 2016. Whoop, whoop. And then our other friend has a Harley Chopper, and it's a classic from early in the 2000s. So
wonderful. What has been your favorite part about this weekend's celebration?
Oh, wow, that's so difficult to say because the hill climb this morning was amazing. I used to ride dirt bikes in my younger years, but we really enjoyed the hill climb this morning. I tell you what, Suburban Harley and our Harley, the Iron Harley, look, those places had some amazing parties yesterday. We really had a ball.
Wonderful. Well, everyone out here is having a great time. We're in the infield. If you guys haven't experienced infield yet, come on in here. Loads of activities happening. Thank you so much for talking. Very nice to meet you. Guys, back up to you.
Yeah, I love it. This whole weekend, I don't care where you are. If you're outside the hotel, you're walking to a restaurant, last night at Flat Out Friday out here at the beach, or hill climb earlier today. So many people like that lovely lady that Diana was speaking with, just people who rode in here. You and I were commenting and marveling at all the different license plates we were seeing on the Harleys. We saw bikes from Mexico yesterday.
I want to kind of go back to Facebook Live right now. We're getting comment after comment. Like Lucas said, the weekend will not be complete if the hot dog guy doesn't get an interview.
Where is the Harley-Davidson hot dog man?
He has now been.
He's now an HD ambassador. Yeah. This is incredible. Hot dog, Harley-Davidson. It just makes too much sense.
So
Diana,
if you're listening
go
right
find
now.
the hot dog guy. We sent you photos. We texted them to you. You didn't even realize he was behind you. Go find this man, Diana.
Or someone from Harley watching this right now, please get in contact with him. Bring him to the booth.
So as we continue the maintenance of the beach, we want to just learn a little bit more about our riders today. So we, of course, asked them the $1 million question. And, of course, the fans who made it out. When did you first start riding?
I started riding when I was very young. I had 2 older brothers that rode, put me on a bike when I was very young, pushed me and said go, didn't tell me how to stop, nothing. And ever since then, I've been hooked.
I started riding 30 years ago. Why? Because I love speed and I'm an adrenaline junkie.
My first Harley was a Deuce, 2001. And well, it was a dream became true when I was so young. I've been a Harley since 12 years. And I fall in love with Harleys.
And I've been riding since the day I turned 16. I had a little Honda 150 delivered and I've never been off of it.
I've always liked motorcycles. I had the fear of them. And my wife says, why don't you take a class and see if you like it? That's all it took, 1995.
I didn't ride as an adult until I was about 40. And, but I just kind of heard the call of the road, haven't looked back since.
Yeah, everyone's got a fantastic story on how they first discovered motorcycles. Lance Corey, professional rider, X Games gold medalist, freestyle. Tell us how you got into riding bikes.
I just had, actually my parents did not ride. I had a cousin, 2 cousins that rode motorcycles. They were a bit older than me. When they grew out of their PW50s, one of them was handed down to me. So I've been riding since I was about 4 years old, into motorcycles my whole life, and got a Harley-Davidson right when I turned 16. It was only fitting. You can get your license, you can get a Harley-Davidson.
Love to hear from our fans on Facebook watching right now. When did you get your first bike, and what was that first bike? Who got you into it? Love to hear those stories.
I have to say a lot of people on there have to be saying PW50. I think every kid, you know, even if they're 40 years old now or something, they all kind of started on a PW50. And I would imagine and hope that most of them, when they could get a driver's license, went to a Harley-Davidson first.
That seemed to be the general consensus out here, that's for sure. And we move on to our action. And then you see the sun fully setting out here now as that starting line getting completely shaded. Hot Dog Guy has really taken the comment section off the rails here on Facebook. We'll try to find him, but we've got some racing to get to. The mixed Trog 45. These are pre-1952 bikes, 45 cubic inch flathead motorcycles.
Again, and you saw that, it said tank shift. So these guys have to push their clutch in with their foot, shift with their hands. So they're gonna have to take their hand up the bars during this race.
Ooh, well, at least it's smoother out there for them.
There's a flag girl that a lot of the viewers on Facebook are.
There's been some standout performances out here today. Flag girl leading the gate. Obviously, Hot Dog Guy coming in hot.
Hashtag Hot Dog Guy. Please, if you're out there watching this and you love that, please hashtag Hot Dog Guy.
We're going to run them again right after that, but we're going to reverse the order. Just give everybody a fair shake.
And you see, even with the course holds and the maintenance, fans are not leaving. They're here to watch some action. Hey, Michelle Havens-Moore just bought my first Harley last week. Congratulations, Michelle. You'll never be the same.
So awesome. Uh-oh. Hold off. What's going on? Oh, are they shutting their bikes off? We're getting word of something.
Again, this is the Trog 45 class. These bikes are pre-1952, and we're just getting word that they're actually adding 2 more competitors to this heat.
Why not fill the track up with more riders, a little bit more going on?
Let's go to the pen. 1188. Get yourself up to the starting line. And here comes the 313. Remember, this is the bike, I believe, from 1929, Lance.
So awesome.
The godfather of them all.
Look at how clean the paint job is on it.
Amazing.
This does not look like a bike he should be out there.
No.
Scrambling.
And the
with
fact that
these
he's scrambling out here on the sand with this bike that's 90 years old is just remarkable.
How's my dude number 77 with a ciggy in his mouth?
All right, we've got a complete heat. Let's get it on.
Look at him getting roosted in the back of the gate. They're off. That roost does not feel good. You ever been sandblasted?
Never.
It takes paint off of stuff.
So it's 69 getting the whole shot. Does he leave the inside open though? He does, and it looks like the 77 bike takes the lead on lap 1.
That looks like fun.
77 say, come on, give me your best.
Say, come on, I got a ciggy in my mouth. I'm ripping.
Give me something to work with.
It's golden hour out here at Bradford Beach.
We have so many 313 fans out there.
I mean, this is just, by the way, professional athleticism at its finest with the ciggy in the mouth.
Notice how the number 77 is leaning that bike into the corner, foot out, dragging. That's the stuff that looks fun. Watch him, put his foot out, he's dragging. Look at how much he leans that bike over. Look at that thing. Look at that lean. Committed, so committed.
And again, he keeps turning over the shoulder, waiting for somebody to come chase. Can the 69 bike catch him?
Look at that. His bike's starting to smoke though. Was it smoking like that when he started?
Yeah. And I don't think it's the cigarette.
No.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner of that heat, number 77, Josh Cone.
Josh Cone. What a great race. Uh-oh. Bike might have broken.
Well, it picked the perfect time to do it.
And the Trog 45 main.
Love seeing these stories, by the way, from all y'all talking about how you first came across your first bike. Keep them coming.
We're going to bring these guys back around. We're going to run them again in the reverse order that they've been.
Well, he might have a leaky valve or something right now. Is he looking over his shoulder to try to, you know, say hi or kind of show off? What do you think?
That's what I'm trying to make a point of. He keeps looking over. I think he's encouraging his fellow riders, hey, come catch up. Does he have a knife on the side?
This guy is a savage.
Wow.
Knife.
He's holstering a knife, smoking a cigarette.
Doing donuts.
Doing donuts after the win. Life is good for 77.
My boy Josh out there. Look at the smiles after the race. Look at that. Everyone's smiling. Less cell phones out, more smiles.
Yeah. That is racing at its very core right there. Well, let's head down to Diana. Diana, what you got?
You know, we give the people what they want around here.
Yes!
You were saying on Facebook Live that tons of people were saying, who's the guy in the background eating the hot dog? That's Kevin. And Kevin is a Milwaukee local, and he clearly loves hot dogs. He's even out in
95 Harley, and I do love hot dogs.
Yes.
He has a 95 Harley, and he loves hot dogs. So, Kevin, you're a man of many talents. Let's talk about it. You're an engineer. You have a boat. You have a Harley. What else is on your bucket list?
The 120th, I think that's going to be better. We're going to have faster racers here, and Milwaukee is going to be having a world championship with the Bucks, and the Packers will be 3 years in a row Super Bowl champions. God bless Wisconsin. We love Harley.
And cheese.
Manufacturing, I want them to stay here, but God damn it, we love Harley. Amen. Woo!
This guy's famous, and we give the people what they want.
Hot dog. Where's my beer?
Okay, so Brandon Lance, we're going to take it back to you, giving the people what they want right here. Kevin!
Our day is complete. Diana, thank you so much for tracking down Hot Dog Guy. We thank you. The people of the great state of Wisconsin, thank you. And everyone watching on Facebook, thanks you.
A lot of Hot Dog Man fans out there, that's for sure. Amen. Buy that guy a beer.
We gave the people what they wanted.
Hot Dog Man for President 2020. For those of you just viewing right now.
Yeah, going, what, why, how, where? Earlier, Diana Dahlgren was interviewing somebody out there in the infield, and that fine gentleman just walked up behind him and just unloaded on a hot dog on camera and really stole the scene. And Lance and I, to be quite candid, we haven't been the same since.
No, we pulled our phones out, taking photos of it. It was definitely a highlight of the day.
Well, Diana, of course, is busy on top of doing the sidelines here today. She also catching up with the fans. She caught up with some a little earlier today and asked that philosophical question, what does it mean to be a biker?
Here at the Harley-Davidson Museum, it's a constant festival, a revolving door of thousands of people who share a common passion and a common philosophy.
I'm sure you get the same answer from everybody. Freedom, you're out there in the air. I mean, there's nothing inhibiting you, or you can feel the road, you can feel the wind.
To be a biker, you have to be resilient and willing to be flexible. You have to have a sense of adventure to be able to enjoy Harleys like you're supposed to.
To be a biker, you have to be free. It gives you the freedom to go out and do the things you want to do.
Something you really have to do. It's not something you can explain, really. It's a part of just the whole camaraderie, the family. You get on one, you kind of forget what your problems are, you forget what you've done all day. It's just a matter of realizing what you've got and enjoying it.
To be a biker, you have to be someone who loves to ride. I mean, that's the reason we do it. Something just kind of hits you here. It's just the rumble. I just love it.
I get tears in my eyes thinking about this one. It's a way of life. It's something I've been doing for 52 years. And once you get on a bike, it's so free. It's just a freedom that it's hard to describe unless you do it.
I'll never forget the first time I got to ride. It was on the back of my dad's bike, and it was indescribable. Luckily, some of my friends are able to put it into words.
I started riding when I was very young. I had two older brothers that rode, put me on a bike when I was very young, pushed me and said go, didn't tell me how to stop, nothing. And ever since then, I've been hooked.
So I started riding 30 years ago.
My first Harley was a Deuce, 2001. And well, it was a dream became true when I was so young. I've been a Harley since 12 years. And I fell in love with Harleys.
And I've been riding since the day I turned 16. I had a little Honda 150 delivered, and I've never been off of it.
I've always liked motorcycles. I had the fear of them. And my wife says, why don't you take a class and see if you like it? That's all it took. 1995.
I didn't ride as an adult until I was about 40. And but I just kind of heard the call of the road, haven't looked back since.
I love it. heard the call. You heard so many of those fans outside the museum talk about freedom. That seems to be a word that is used over and over again when it comes to riding motorcycles.
Well, you hear those stories, and really, all of those stories kind of hit home, I think, with anyone who rides. You know, there's something that came out of every one of those mouths that makes, you know, there's something for me about that. So, we're all riders at heart. Whether you ride every single day, whether you ride twice a year, whether you have 10 bikes, one bike,
here with Willie G. Willie
it's
G,
great
we have
to
the
be
honor
a
of having
rider.
our race gentlemen all the time.
Well, there you see the
thank
shot.
You so much for having
Just
us be
a
part of this
gorgeous
great
setting for these
150th
races
anniversary.
out
We
here
hope you're having fun
today
out here today, and thank you again.
at the Bradford Beach Brawl. We move on. These are more riders from, I'm being told, our Hollywood class. I don't know how complete this heat will be, Lance. This one looks to be potentially a head-to-head battle here.
So we have the number 50 and the number Springer front end.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Willie G.
So that 50 bike has had no problem with this course out here today.
Notice this Kickstarter is kind of flailing around back there. So much vibration going through those bikes right now.
And they're off. And again, the 50 bike showing no problem out the gate, takes the early lead.
Is 50 gonna do it again?
Yeah, well, let's find out. He's leaving the inside open.
Number 39.
But no, 50 around that turn is able to maintain the lead. There may be no looking back for him now.
The Hollywood 80 exhibition race. They're gonna roost him. Again, they have no suspension. The suspension they do have, I guess, is that little teeny spring kind of bopping their seat up and down.
And to no one's surprise, it's Brian Cannon, ladies and gentlemen.
So Brian Cannon just keeps winning these heats, whether it's a semi, a quarter, a final. Oh, and he does what he did in his first race win. Drops the bike after the checkered flag.
Maybe it's a signature move.
Love it. Steve, no fear 50. Yeah, that's the way he's been riding today. Lance, what's the oldest bike you've ever ridden on?
The oldest bike I've ever ridden on, it's got to just be my 56 Panhead. I don't think I've ridden anything older than that. I've had older cars, 52 Oldsmobile. But when you really think about it, a vehicle from the 50s, I mean, that thing is almost 70 years old.
Right.
You know, I mean, it's just incredible. I definitely get mind blown. And obviously they don't like to wake up that easily either, if you notice this right now.
I think she gave him all she could today. The fact that he's gotten through 3 races with this bike and has been the first one in the checkered flag in each of those 3 is impressive enough. And that bike is held up. He gets it started. And this one a victory lap for Brian Cannon.
Like Michael Shepard said on Facebook, the first time he fell was practice. That one was for real.
Another big round of applause for Brian Cannon. He dug it on out of the sand. Bring it back around for you right there.
So Brian Cannon showing love to the fans out here in Milwaukee. Great day of riding for him.
I was trying to go real fast into the turn and then break the downshift.
It's the Harley-Davidson 115th anniversary celebration. We had Flat Out Friday last night in downtown Milwaukee. We had a hill climb at a small ski resort earlier today. And we wrap up the weekend contests out here at beautiful Bradford Beach. No bad seat in this house because, well, Lance, we're at the beach.
That's right. Weather's nice. Beautiful sky. Sun slowly setting.
Ooh, Daryl Jewell, first bike was a 1960 Triumph Cub. So the sun is setting on a gorgeous day out here on the water. Weather has been perfect. The conditions have been fantastic.
Crazy Uncle Harry up here. He's riding that rail car. All right, come up here, wave to everybody out there in the field. This is crazy Uncle Harry.
And we're still not done.
Look at that sunset.
Come on.
Well, it's a 1932 Chevy truck chassis with a 51 Hudson Hornet engine.
Which Instagram filter is that?
That's hashtag no filter.
No filter right there. That's just real life.
All right, great. And you got another Hudson, right? What's that one all about?
I've got two others. I've got a
So it looks like we've got our next class starting to slowly line up. We'll get word on who that is.
Thank you, Harry.
We see the 1188 bike
Uncle Harry, man,
out
he's been
here.
riding that rail car.
I'm being told it's the Brakeless 45.
That's about it for that. We won't see that anymore. We got to give that some TLC in the pits. We're going to run this Brakeless.
Those are some boots right there.
Final out here. That's the Brakeless 45 class.
They are. How long do you think it takes to lace up?
Those look brand spanking new. Killer boots, man.
He's new boot scooting.
So who will join the 1188 bike? This isn't just a timed race. Let's get some competitors out here.
Yep. Well, one thing I have to say is the Hooligans are coming up right after this class. And I'm excited to see those guys bang bars.
Yeah.
You know,
Ooh.
Rubbin's racing.
Chad Mata with an interesting idea pitch. Hot Dog Man on a bike. Maybe for that last Hooligan race, we can get him out here?
We've definitely already signed a contract with him.
I'm actually representing him now, by the way. He's my client. So it's all got to go through me.
Holy cow.
I'm going to get my 10%. Believe you me. I know you come out here quite a bit for various things, being an ambassador as you have been for Harley-Davidson for a long time. If you could just talk about the power of this city. Obviously, Harley-Davidson really runs through the blood of Milwaukee, but man, it's really on display this weekend.
It really is. I mean, you can see, you know, freeway overpasses where there's sculptures on them, and it's a guy riding a Harley. All through town, there's Harley-David memorabilia, whether it's inside bars, inside restaurants. Everything kind of goes back to Harley-Davidson. It's really something, and the reason why I'm such a fan of Harleys is it's such an American icon, and it's so cool that it hasn't moved cities. It's been here the whole time. They just stay true to the brand.
And we have another competitor. I don't see a plate there. Hey, Germany represented. I told you they came from far and wide. I don't know that he rode from Germany, though.
Well, maybe he like rode his bike onto a cruise ship, sat on it
Sat
the
on
whole
the
way
bike
here.
the entire trip.
Yep.
Plausible.
We're going to need Mythbusters on this one.
That's what's been really neat, too. And on top of obviously seeing all the different bikes and where they're coming from, but seeing the Harley clubs, those riders, and seeing the different patches and the different vests, that's been really neat.
Yep. There's everybody's favorite flag girl. Oh, wow.
Kuwait.
Look at that shirt.
Come on. That is amazing.
It's a very cool shirt.
Charleston, South Carolina represent. And as we're taking a tour of different fans watching here in attendance from different places, again, let's reset the question on Facebook. Where are you people watching from? Hey, Sturgis, you were just there.
I was just there at the 2018 78th, just like that
Did
guy's
you
shirt.
get that frayed sleeveless shirt while you were there?
I did not.
That's your look, though. Or you only do that with the jean shorts. Yeah. You don't do that with the tops. The jorts. That's right. The jorts. Yeah. Coleman Warner, CCR playing in the background. That's right. Very astute. Well, let's head down to Diana Dahlgren. Diana, what's the vibe like down there right now?
I am standing here with a hooligan, Benny Carlson, and you know what? We know him because, put your arms out. We got to show, there we go. We know him because this flair that he always has coming off of all of his jerseys. Very well known. We've seen you at X Games, avid flat track for hooligans. Talk about your experience.
It's been good. You know, we started doing it on a road race bike, actually, and then we finally built a Sportster this year. So this is our first full season riding the Hooligan series. So we've been doing quite a bit. Went to Sturgis. We had good results out there, and we're having a lot of fun out here.
You know, last night I saw you get out there super quick on the indoor flat track when they had an oil spill. One of the guys' brake rods put oil all over the track. You were quick to get out there, give a helping hand. Is that the kind of camaraderie that happens in this community?
Yeah, that's what's fun. You know, back when we were pro racing every weekend, it's kind of a cutthroat deal. So when you're talking with the Hooligan guys, it's one big community, especially all the guys from Milwaukee. We got a slew of guys that are fast that are going to run up front here again in the main event. And we're out here together as a community, and that's what it's all about.
Benny Carlson, please let everyone know the dealership that's supporting you.
Yeah, I tell you what, you know, when the phone rings and Joe and Wayne help call from Suburban Motors, Harley-Davidson up there in Thiensville, great dealership. They've been putting me on fast Harleys for a long time, so I can't say enough. Thanks.
All righty, Benny Carlson, guys, we're going to go racing.
Let's do this.
All right, folks, we got this brakeless funnel out here.
Brakeless. So,
yeah,
have
brakeless
you ever
45s.
Have you ever ridden a bike that was brakeless?
I've never gone brakeless. Not with a motor on it. I've done a brakeless BMX bike. How about yourself, Lance Corey?
I can't say I have. You know what? I've taken a bike off of a lift and not compressed the brakes after, and the brakes don't work for about 2 or 3 squeezes, and it's scary. Kind of a rookie move on my part.
These kits are awesome, by the way. Look at these the sweaters. That green and gold is really clean, kind of Packers-esque out here. And it's 15 with the lead, Johnson.
And Detroit, Randy Hayward.
Johnson, I believe, took it away in the last one. Am I correct?
That is correct, sir.
Yep.
Building a really nice lead as he's hugging the outside. Got it squirrely there for a second.
This is the main that Warren was involved in.
That's
when
right.
He went up and over that berm. There you go.
And right now, Johnson just building that lead as he hugs that outside wall.
I was just going to say, notice how Johnson's almost kind of riding the berm. Listen to his bike rip by.
Detroit, Randy Hayward.
Uh-oh, we got a bike stalled out in the corner. Well, I don't know if it was stalled out, but it was stuck. There he is.
Yeah, 1188.
What's going on with his bike?
In the new boots.
New boot scoop. Notice some of these guys like himself, they're not wearing glasses, goggles. I mean, you get one roost.
Yeah, these are brave men. I mean, we're talking about sand here.
Look at that, riding the berm.
Yeah, Johnson just leaving no doubt about it.
Whoa.
Oh no! Just as I say that, he makes things interesting, but he's built such a lead, Lance.
Don't speak too soon.
Awesome shot on the straightaway there.
Look at that. wide open for the checkered. On the gas. Epic.
So Scott Johnson takes the checkered here in the Brakeless 45 class.
Yep. And he went out front and he owned that race.
Yeah, there was no doubt. Got the whole shot. Rode outside early, and then there was no looking back. Let's take another look right out the gate. Just so much control right from the start.
He had it in his eyes. He had it in his brain. I'm going to be the first one in corner one. I'm going to rail these corners, and I'm going to take home this checkered flag. Scott is a local, so, you know, did he sleep in his own bed tonight? Was he the most comfortable? Was he secretly training on these beaches?
Big round of applause for Randy, everybody. Detroit.
Yes. Nearly a 90-year-old bike.
Yeah, just incredible. 1929.
So awesome.
So Scott Johnson, he did make it interesting a little late, but again, just had such a sizable lead. No one could catch him.
I mean, it's so cool to see everybody out there with Harley-Davidson shirts on. You know, I mean, it just shows you that Harley means that much to them.
Yeah.
You know, it's like all of these people out there, they have any shirt that they can wear, any shirt they want to wear. They want to wear a Harley-Davidson shirt.
While we get this course maintenance underway, let's look back at this week. Diana Dahlgren went out to the Harley-Davidson Museum for a tour unlike any other.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Years ago, two friends, William and Arthur, came together to create Harley-Davidson. We are going to show you a little bit of the history, culture, and most importantly, the bikes here at the Harley-Davidson Museum. Behind us is the bike that started it all.
Yep.
Which is gorgeous.
The oldest Harley-Davidson in existence. Both Bill Harley and Arthur Davidson were really avid bicyclists, and Bill Harley actually worked for a bicycle company here in Milwaukee, and their first project was to build a motor to literally put in a bicycle. You can see how they kind of shaped the frame so that it would embrace the engine, and that kind of set the standard for what we still do now.
Can I write it out of here?
Well, first of all, you'd have to guess it out. This is actually dated July 20th, 1901.
This is original.
So this is the original drawing from Bill Harley
And where did you recover?
for a bicycle.
This?
The Harley family saved it. They had the foresight to save stuff from almost the very beginning. Over there is the book from 1907 when they incorporated, and they actually began a program of saving at least one bike new right off the line in 1915.
Wow.
And we do that to the present. When we were back there, you know, you look and this looks like a whole motorcycle.
Right.
And as you walk in,
Wow, I didn't even notice that till now. That's amazing.
See, it
this
works.
thing's completely taken apart.
so you know, the idea here in this whole room is to give people, you know, a sense that the engine from the first bike we built today is the, you know, real heart of the motorcycle, both, you know, obviously from making it go, but from a design point of view, we always show that beautiful engine like it's a jewel in a setting. We want to give people a sense of, you know, how these things work, and we make it interesting. By 1920, we were the largest motorcycle company in the world and sold over 28,000. In those early decades, there were dozens we think, as many as 60 different American motorcycle companies. By the time we came out of the Depression, there were only 2 companies left. You know, the major turning point was World War II. Over the course of World War II, we made almost 90,000 military bikes.
What kind of jobs in the military were Harleys actually assigned to?
They were mostly, they called them dispatch riders.
Okay.
So they were taking messages from one place to another. Our story weaves in and out of the story of American history. This is the bike that this badass cyborg
Arnold
has to ride.
Schwarzenegger.
The real Captain America in the comic book, he rides a WLA.
Right.
The original didn't come with flamethrowers and stuff like rocket launchers. Like the Terminator, one thing that's great is it's kind of, you know, it's not just like a car, it's a character.
So Jim, we've walked around. There's a lot of stuff in this museum.
Yeah, when you think about motorcycling, it's not just the bike, it's the black leather jacket, all the uniforms, and then all the things that people do to add to their bike. So we've got, you know, just an incredible array of things to help tell the story.
What do you hope each person that sets foot through this door gets?
If you come into this place and you're a Harley-Davidson enthusiast, we're gonna stoke that passion further. If you got dragged along by somebody and you don't think you're gonna like it, you're gonna leave thinking, you know, that was actually interesting and I've never really thought much about motorcycling, but that's an interesting subject.
There's something for everyone here at the Harley-Davidson Museum, that's for sure.
That's the goal.
Such an incredible experience. We encourage anybody out here that hasn't gone to the museum, I don't know why you wouldn't, go there now. If you're thinking about, hey, I'd like to go see it, maybe do it. Go, you will not be disappointed. Hey, we've still got a couple more races to go out here, Lance. Up next, the Hooligan Main. I know this is one that the fans out here at Bradford Beach very excited about.
That is for sure. These bikes have a lot more power than the other bikes you've been seeing out there. They're a little bit easier to handle. They have proper hand clutch, foot brake, foot shifting. So they are going to get a little bit higher speeds, and you're going to see these guys go wild.
Well, let's go down to Diana as we continue to see the course maintenance happening. Diana, what you got?
Yeah, I'm standing here with Scott Johnson. He just took the win on that last race. Congratulations, not only taking the win there, but earlier this evening. I mean, you're just dominating tonight.
Thanks, I'm having a really great night. It's a really amazing track.
How is the course, being that this is the first time this has been done in over 100 years?
It's awesome. I mean, you couldn't really ask for anything better. It's like riding motorcycles on the beach in an oval, flat track style. They've been doing a great job preparing the track. Everybody out here has been awesome. It's nothing couldn't be better.
That's amazing. Okay, so we got to talk about your crew because they were all yelling at us as we were coming out here. Let's send them a little love.
Yeah, I'd like to thank my best friend, Junior's Cycle Products, Warren Hire. He's like one set up my bike and always works on it. And my buddy Kendall, he does great paint and he's a really good mechanic. My buddy Jeremiah, who's in town to help out, and
of course Harley-Davidson for throwing this amazing event.
Yeah, Harley-Davidson. This is just this is epic. I mean, I hope people understand how completely epic this is. This just is blowing my mind every time I come out here and look at it, and that's happened 20 times today. So.
That's right, completely epic. Doesn't even describe how amazing this experience is to be on Bradford Beach. I mean, like I said, over 100 years since the last race was contended here. So guys, we're gonna get ready for the Hooligan as soon as they get done doing this track. Are you ready to race?
Yeah, absolutely. Scott Johnson.
All right.
Scott Johnson, by the way, if I'm giving out an MVP award out here for the Beach Brawl, I think it's Scott Johnson. He's had himself a day.
Yep, and look at it. He's just like calm and collective over there.
Here's a crazy idea. What if instead of just, you know, softening out this course, what if the rollers there you see behind the water truck, what if those guys went head-to-head and raced this course?
We had a couple people on Facebook asking for that. I have no idea what the top speed is.
I feel like they're going as fast as they can go.
Would it be dangerous if they accidentally went off the course?
Yeah, absolutely it would be, but that's part of the appeal, I suppose.
Okay. Okay.
So that way there's never really a course
When they go racing, let me know so I can get as far away from this as I can.
No, you're calling it, my friend. So if you're just joining us, hopefully you stay with us because you're in for a treat. We've still got some huge races coming up. The Hooligan Main, the Trog exhibition right around the corner as we get this course ready. It's the Harley-Davidson 115th anniversary celebration. We had flat track racing indoors last night at Flat Out Friday. We had a hill climb out earlier this morning at Little Switzerland Ski Resort. And we end our night out at the beach.
All right, folks, we're wrapping up the track maintenance. We're sending these boys around
for the Bradford Beach Brawl.
And I believe that if the viewers watching right now didn't have an opportunity to tune in live to last night's flat track racing as well as this morning's hill climb, they can actually go through Harley's Facebook, find those videos, be able to kind of watch the times that they want to watch.
Ooh, that is correct, sir. Yeah, so right now we're live. If you're watching the beach, we are very much live, but you can go back and relive the great moments from the weekend. Say you're a big hill climb fan, but you missed it. You had Saturday plans. All good. Go find the video of all the races. We got a cornucopia of highlights for you to go watch.
Go find the video of JJ launching his Sportster up Little Switzerland Mountain.
Was that ever a run? Let's head back down to Diana.
Hey guys, I'm back down here on the gorgeous beach, and I'm standing here with this very tall gentleman, Brock St. Clair. Did I get it right? St. Clair?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, the only reason why I know his last name is because I thought it was the city where he was from. Anyways, long story short, we'll move on. Okay, Brock.
Yes.
We are here at the 115th anniversary. As you know, huge parties happening all week long. We've been together hanging out in the festivals and concerts and all these events. How has your experience been as the Freedom intern?
Undescribable. I mean, it's been such a life-changing experience, and it's so much that it's really one of those things where right now there's so much happening. It's incredible, but I know that in the future, especially, I'll look back and be like, oh my God, I actually did all those insane things. But yeah, no, definitely amazing. And it's incredible to be a part of this anniversary and all the excitement involved.
Let's tell everyone what the Freedom Intern Program is. Explain to everyone who's watching.
Sure. So myself and 7 others were given motorcycles, given training, and we've essentially traveled the country and gone to motorcycle events, gotten invested in motorcycle culture, and captured our experiences, documented on social media, and had a really great time doing it.
He forgot to mention that him and 7,400 other people in the world, 7,500 other people applied for his position. Only you and 6 other people got it from all over the world. Tell us where you started for the ride home.
I started in the Northeast. I was in Boston, and I met up with the crew in York, Pennsylvania, which is where the plant is. So we got to tour, and then we rode back with the crew. They were all great. It was super fun.
And go through the rest of the Freedom interns. Where did they start? Or where were they riding this summer, I should say?
Okay, so Tessa and I rode out to the West Coast initially. Alex was down in the Southeast. He started in Florida and then was all about, I think he went all the way out to the West Coast too. Has done like 11,000 miles. He did the Iron Butt Challenge, actually, which is 1,000 miles in a day, which is insane. Emma's out in California. Han has been up in the Northeast through Maine. He's from Ohio, and he's been really just all over. I mean, like, we've seen so much of the country in such a cool way. I mean, there's no better way to do it than on a motorcycle, so really awesome.
Well, these 7 Freedom interns, they went through extensive interviews, and they were the lucky winners. Congratulations. Thank you for representing our brand, Harley-Davidson, in such a wonderful way, showing young people as well. He's only 21 years old, showing the young generation that they can take out a a huge hog, a street glide, and roll it around the country, 14,000 miles worth, give or take. So thank you so much, Brock. Thank you to the rest of the Freedom interns. We hope to see more Freedom interns next year and the years to come. Hopefully at the 120th anniversary, we'll see some more, and we'll see Brock come with, hey, maybe a wife or kids. All right, guys, we're going to take it back up to you.
Hashtag Find Your Freedom. That is such an amazing program. You know, I applied. Didn't even hear back from admissions.
Yeah, because you weren't going to college, train a real intern.
Oh, is that what it is?
I think they said they were like out of college. Or
Oh, that makes me feel better then. Why I didn't get in.
I would love the job.
Absolutely. Hashtag Find Your Freedom. Learn more about it online. Whether you ride bikes or are wanting to get into it, there's no better program, especially for young people. That's just absolutely amazing. Imagine getting into the culture, getting to document everything for social media. Are you kidding me?
Be rad.
Sign me
A
up.
battle of man, machine versus sand.
So the course looks good to me, Lance Corey. I feel like the show must go on.
The show must go on. We have the flagger girl out there getting ready over at the starting line.
You having fun? I see you out there. All right now.
Look at those colors.
Yeah, everything is just absolutely outstanding out here today. Weather's still so good. We've still got some sunlight to work with here. And as long as we got sun, we're racing.
Yep.
If your friends are calling you up, wondering what you're doing right now, they want you to come help them move a couch. They want you to come help them do some yard work, spread some mulch out. You tell them, I can't do it, bro.
All right, so it's
I'm at the Bradford Beach
time for that
Brawl.
Hooligan
That's right.
main. Curious for those fans watching at home, do you have a favorite hooligan? Do you belong to a hooligan club yourself?
Be sure to tag Harley-Davidson, tag all that stuff, tag the Racer Gentlemen, hashtag Bradford Beach Brawl. Do it up, let everybody know where you're at. Make all your friends
Lance, I
jealous.
know you being an LA-based guy, you're very close to so many of these Southern California hooligans that we've seen out here this weekend.
I'm not sure if any of them really made it into the
out into this one, yeah.
Into the main. A lot of guys are coming out of the woodworks. A lot of good riders who, you know, are 9-to-5ers. They're out there.
Yeah, they are out there. They're actually coming on the track right now. The Hooligan main event is going to happen. We are seconds away. They're passing me. I'm inches away from these guys. So talented, and a lot of these guys have competed in multiple events this weekend, guys. Talk about a few of these riders and all their talent, the talent field they carry.
Diana, you've gotten a chance to hang with a lot of these guys you've interviewed, half if not most of them throughout the 2 days of action out here. They all just have such fantastic stories on how they got here. It's easy for fans to get behind and root for guys like this hooligan class, right?
Yeah, that's right. And you know what? There are a handful of hooligans that didn't qualify into this event. I bet they're so bummed about it. But you know what? Like we saw, racing is racing. JJ Flaherty going down in the shaded area, you know, with one hand off the wheel bars. Anything can happen in racing. And that's the coolest part about it, is it always a surprise.
It is always a surprise.
So there you see the format for tonight's main. Big names here in this hooligan main. Of course, Danny Holbus, Benny Carlson, Joshua Young, and Hansen, and we're off!
And again, remember, these bikes are faster and they're easier to handle than those old bikes. We're gonna see some fast racing here.
And we're seeing more of the same from Hansen. We saw it earlier in his previous heat, taking the lead, going tight on the turns, and he looks like the one to beat, Lance.
It looks like he's out there in front. He's not letting off. Looking back.
But he's looking back. He's hearing footsteps. It's Holbus, 142, trying to make the pass.
Riding that outside line. Is the outside going to be faster?
We'll see on the straightaway. Does he pass him?
He slingshotted that outside corner.
Oh, shaking, baking his way past 33.
Is he going to keep staying on the outside? Is that going to be faster?
We'll see, and the strategy works, Lance.
They are on the gas.
Now can Hansen return the favor on the inside?
Look at him. Oh, he's gone. Wow, look at how rutted it's getting.
Even after all that course maintenance, Lance.
These bikes are powerful and they are roosting.
Amazing. 2 laps to go. But Danny Holbis has been primarily riding on the outside, and he's holding the lead.
Notice Holbis on that corner, on corner 4. He's actually riding the berm. Look at how high up he's going. Look at that. He's getting up on the berm. Watch him come out of this next corner. That's not easy to handle that bike through that. Watch him come up on this berm right here. He went up.
Yeah, he's riding up on the wall. And that's it. Danny Holbis winning the Hooligan Main out here at the Bradford Beach Brawl.
After Hooligan winner, ladies and gentlemen.
Hopefully we can get a replay of that pass.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That was the pass of the night for sure.
Holbis takes the win, followed by Hansen and Mishler rounding out your top 3.
I hope you guys can hear that. Those engines ripping by our booth.
And again, it was Hansen taking the early lead, had the whole shot, was riding the inside, couldn't ask for much more, but then you just see 142 Holbis zooming around that corner and on the straightaway, and there was no looking back, Lance.
Yep, it was that slingshot effect. Look at these ruts, just squirrely.
A well-deserved victory lap.
Running around with a checkered flag, showing that pride that he just won. And these guys didn't just win this race. He had to go through qualifiers, heats to make it here.
Oh, 100%.
It wasn't just, oh, one race and you won. No, it was proof in the pudding that it took all day to get this checkered flag.
All day, that's an understatement. We saw him out at the hill climb earlier today.
He's had a full weekend, right? Just like we've had, just like you viewers have had. And it's been awesome.
So Danny Holbis taking the checkered flag here in the Hooligan Main, doing it in dramatic fashion.
Right there, folks. That was his victory lap, winning that Hooligan class. That's exciting, ladies and gentlemen. Danny.
Dan Mulder, 142, was riding the wall of death. Danny Holbis, that's right.
So awesome.
So a great win for Danny, a great race all the way around.
Sometimes you want to just sit here in silence, just staring at it like in awe.
Should we just not talk for the rest of the show?
Hopefully Diana can get down there and get a quick interview with him.
Reppin' Milwaukee Harley-Davidson. Danny Holbis. And let's send it down to Diana, who's with our winner.
Oh, he said he had a funny story with me. But anyways, this is Danny. Big round of applause for our Hooligan winner. This has got to be such a special feeling for you here this weekend. Huge party happening, and you took the win for the Hooligan class.
Yeah, I'm super pumped. I have so many friends and family here. It's been a super awesome day. I just can't thank everybody enough that's had my back. You know, all my friends, everybody at Milwaukee Harley, Fuel Cafe, WFO Racing Online, Blue Moon Customs, Von Zipper. I just can't thank everybody enough. I'm so happy. Like, I woke up this morning and we went to the hill climb and it was pouring rain and I didn't even think that was gonna happen. And it turned out perfect.
Perfection. He rode the outside line for the win. Give another round of applause for your Hooligan winner, Danny Holbis.
What an awesome race.
What a win it was. I want to hear the story that he was teasing to Diana before he got the mic. We'll get that later, I suppose. But Danny Holbis, heck of a day. Saw him out at Hill Climb, performed super well out there. Made his way over here to the beach.
Uh-oh, is this another Hooligan class? These are all a bunch of hooligans that I see.
What gave it away? They're shirts that say Hooligan?
But wait a second.
No, I see. This looks like Trog up here at the starting line.
So right now we're racing that Trog 45.
These are the Trog 45s here.
Trog 45 class. These are all.
Our final race of the evening.
Do you know what Trog stands for?
Tell me.
The Race of Gentlemen.
The Race of Gentlemen, which makes sense as today's race is presented by the Race of Gentlemen.
There you go.
Trog.
2 and 2 together.
You think that was a coincidence?
But did you not really know?
No, I just wanted to hear you explain it. We talked about it in meetings all day long. The Race of Gentlemen, Trog.
Keep an eye on these guys.
So this is it. The final race of the weekend here at the Harley-Davidson 115th anniversary celebration. These guys are about to give it all they got.
In the finals of the Trog 45 class.
Checkered flag girl looking at them, making sure they're all ready to go. And they're off!
6 bikes, our final race. Oh no! And it's 69 taking the lead early. He's to the outside, leaving the door open.
There they are again. Compared to the Hooligans, these bikes are a lot harder to ride.
Yeah.
No hand controls, and not as good of suspension. A little bit slower engines. So these guys are wrestling.
I'm hearing all the cons. How about the pros, Lance?
The pros is the fact that they're riding bikes that are 50, 60, 70 years old, and they're keeping the dream alive. You know.
So it's the Bike 69 with a sizable lead. Something is really going to have to go south for him to lose this thing.
Oh, Detroit, right here. Pushing that 29 Harley-Davidson to the max.
So we're in the midst of the Race of Gentlemen. The 69 gives a look back. It's our final race of the evening.
On the gas, their hands got to be tired, their arms, their forearms got to be tired. One more flag. Final lap of the weekend.
These guys are going to lay it all out on the line right here, right now.
Trying to chase him down.
Uh-oh, making it interesting.
They're getting tired, the track's getting rough.
Currently in third.
Can they keep it together?
And Detroit, Randy Hayward.
He's cruising now, Lance.
Yeah, he's exhausted.
You can tell these guys are beat.
And there it is, the checkered flag of the night. 2018 races are in the books.
69 putting it down on the final race of the night, and the Race of Gentlemen officially in the books here at the Bradford Beach Brawl.
Harley-Davidson.
Man, I could just watch this shot over and over again.
Oh yeah.
And Detroit, Randy.
Look at that city. City of Harley-Davidson.
What a day of racing. What a weekend of racing. Congratulations to all our competitors here at the Bradford Beach Brawl. We kicked things off last night under the lights in the arena with Flat Out Friday. All the guys and gals putting on a show under the roof. So much fun, so many different classes full of mayhem. Everyone getting involved in the action. And the fun just continued as we moved on to today. This morning, the Harley-Davidson hill climb at Little Switzerland. Lance, some bikes had more trouble than others.
That is right.
But everyone seemed to have the time of their life, particularly on that mogul.
Definitely. The mogul is what separated them today.
Yeah, absolutely. The riders and the fans alike pushing all of the extremes, the pouring rain, and then we wrapped up our weekend of racing with all of our classes out here for the Bradford Beach Brawl presented by the Race of Gentlemen. It seemed like every class had a little bit of everything.
It's been awesome.
What a weekend of racing. Thanks so much for watching the 115th anniversary Harley-Davidson celebration.